Joining us from Philadelphia right now is Republican Governor Doug Burgum of North Dakota, a spokesperson really for the Trump campaign. Governor, you got a tough job this morning. I've got a little list here of people on the center or right side of the spectrum: Elon Musk, Ben Shapiro, the Free Press publication, the Wall Street Journal editorial board, the Drudge Report, the New York Post, Lindsey Graham. None of these folks are complimenting Donald Trump's performance, but I presume you're going to this morning. What did you like?
Well, I think the thing that we have to focus on coming out of a debate like this is the issues that matter to swing voters. And I think that we know when we get to that election that's going to be 54 days from now, is that people are going to be focusing on the economy. And I think when we talk about the things that folks had when President Trump was in office, low interest rates. We did not have the inflation that we've experienced. We had secure borders. People felt safer in their cities. And I think that there are people that are saying, hey, if Harris says we don't want to go back, there's a lot of people that felt they were better off under President Trump. And we know that in past elections, that's what's made the decision when people have come to vote in November.
Well, Governor, obviously the economy is a huge issue for people. They care about dollars and cents. But Donald Trump did not talk a whole heck of a lot about the economy or how he would help people, everyday Americans. He chased a lot of rabbits down a lot of holes. He seemed to take the bait, which I'm sure was not the strategy from your camp. Have you talked to the former president? Did he think he did a good job? Does he regret some of the bait he chased?
Well, he was, as a lot of people did, we saw him in the spin room last night. He was feeling very confident about his performance. And I think that, he felt that he hit on the points that he knows really matter to some of those voters. And so, this is going to be in the eye of beholders. Different people, wanted different things from their candidate. But I think, again, when we get back out on the trail and we see this, I don't think there's anything in this debate that's going to live in people's memories, historically a year or 2 or 3 years from now. It's going to come back down to those, swing voters in swing counties. And both campaigns are going to be fighting. We know it's going to be a close race. But at the end of the day, I think when President Trump is talking about a proven track record of whipping inflation, keeping interest rates down, what we heard from Harris last night was really more of the same. The one thing we didn't hear from her was her thanking President Trump for knocking out Joe Biden. She wouldn't even be in this position if he hadn't had such a great debate performance earlier this summer. So debates have mattered in this race. But I think the thing which she talked about, which is, more spending, more regulation, higher taxes. These are the things that states like California, New York, and Illinois have been pursuing, those kinds of liberal agendas. And
Governor,
people are leaving those states.
Governor Burgum, Gayle here. It's really good to see you, sir. We remember when you were in the studio. It's nice to see you again. You said you worry, you doubt that some things will stick out. But the thing that stuck with a lot of people today on both sides is Donald Trump's false claim, by the way, that immigrants are killing and eating pets. Now, it's been proven that that's just not true. When you hear stuff like that, what do you think? And do you think that helps your cause in any way, swing undecided voters to your side? It just seems so far-fetched to anyone listening to it.
Well, I think what is really key to that is it brings the attention back to the strain that this unmitigated illegal immigration is having on our country. When you take a town in Ohio, I'd heard of Springfield, Illinois. I'd never heard of Springfield, Ohio until yesterday. And then you take a community that small and with that size of immigration coming in, putting strains. You heard it from your own panel on this show, but putting strains on schools, on emergency services.
There's a legit conversation.
Yeah, there's a legit conversation to have about those strains. But that's not what Donald Trump did last night.
Well, I think what he did is he brought attention back to this issue that immigration is not just something that's happening, a problem in the border states. And if you're a family living in Tucson, Arizona, in the swing state of Arizona, I think who came across last night as someone who's got a plan to actually secure the border. And if you're someone even if you're living in New York City earlier this year, lots of stories about the strain that was putting on those cities.
Governor, hey, how you doing? Nate Burleson here. Now, do you wish that Donald Trump answered that question the same way you did, instead of perpetuating a false narrative that immigrants are eating cats and dogs and other people's pets?
Well, I suppose in the same way, maybe there's some people on the Democrat side, maybe not, wish that Harris hadn't twice in the first 15 minutes brought up a false narrative about a project that President
Yeah, but Governor,
Trump
we're talking about
attached to.
Donald Trump. But let me ask you this:
Yes.
while we have you, when given an opportunity to talk about health care, you mentioned what matters to swing voters. Donald Trump spoke about a better plan, an alternative plan to Obamacare, and he was given an opportunity. He said, "I'm not president, but I do have concepts of a plan." A presidential debate is an opportunity to speak to the people about what that plan is, and he did not go into detail. Do you believe he could have answered that better, and should he do a better job of detailing what that plan is over the next 55 days?
Well, I think anytime either candidate can give more detail around their policies, that's helpful. But again, this campaign in this election is not going to swing on health care, but I think it's going to swing on affordability, and the affordability that is, there was a time when affordability of health care was the main issue for families, but when you've got situations where people can't afford the gas in their car, their electricity bill, their rent, they can't live the American dream because of high interest rates, food on the table costs more, and then they're worried about, wars abroad. Some of that goes with the incumbency, and I think that you saw last night Harris trying to run from the fact that she's part of the Biden-Harris administration, which their policies and their spending and their bills have led to that inflation.
Governor, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Good to see you, Governor.
Great to be.
Yes, it is.
Great to be with
Right
all
now,
of you. Thank you.